Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, is one of the most sensitive and strategic agencies of government, specifically in the tertiary education sector of our great nation, and therefore behoves on the leadership to be eminently qualified. We want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for finding in our own Executive Secretary Architect, Sonny Echono, the qualities that will pilot the affairs of this great agency. Since his assumption of office, precisely on the 21st of March 2022, there has been a flurry of activities. And he has given also ideas on how to move the agency forward. We at TED Fund believe that this is purely driven by his patriotism and selflessness. And then as a result of this, the top management, with their understanding and support, decided that we should put this documentary together in order to commemorate your first 100 days in office. We appreciate you. We believe in the ideas you have brought, and we have no doubt that this will lift the fund to lofty heights.
A change of guard signifying a new era at TED Fund.
The assurance we shall give is to build on the solid foundation that has already been laid.
Call it a paradigm shift and you won't be wrong. From the hard talk to walking the talk, this is an affirmation that there is indeed a new sheriff in town.
I promote a culture of merit. I believe in team spirit. Each and every member of staff is very important. It's so critical to us achieving our overall objective that every staff will be accorded their due respect and their entitlement.
A seasoned administrator of repute and a renowned technocrat with decades of experience, Architect Sonny Echono is a thoroughbred civil servant with 35 years of exemplary service.
I will dedicate myself to the service of our country through this opportunity that I've been given. And by extension, I'm asking every member of staff of TED Fund to key into this challenge.
On assumption of office, Architect Sonny Echono hits the ground running with clear-cut vision for TED Fund by taxing tertiary institutions to produce more entrepreneurs to reduce unemployment rate, to seeking more investment in basic education to tackle socio-economic problems, engendering agricultural revolution, upscaling fiscal infrastructure such as libraries, hostel accommodation for students, mainstreaming research and development, digitalization of theses, amongst others.
We hope that at the end of the day, we'll be able to have a plagiarism checker and a repository that will be at par with Turnitin and other repositories we have all around the world. This repository will be able to have us exposed to global repositories and also have our own repository exposed to other global resources.
First and foremost, he asked that we develop a policy, because when he came in, he realized that there was no policy on entrepreneurship, on employability, and even on bringing this triple helix model to work. So we've developed a policy right now, and the policy is before management. And once that policy is adopted, it's going to catapult into action and into achievement of the triple helix model.
He was able to secure an MOU with FARA, whereby FARA engaged the Brazilian government to give us a window for training of our scholars. In fact, up to 500 of them. We already have 124 on ground. They're already in Brazil studying. And after signing the MOU, they gave us an opportunity that we can upscale it up to 500 scholars.
This vision spurred reactions and has seen visible impact in areas of collaboration with prominent stakeholders like the Federal Inland Revenue Service in scaling up more revenue collection in Nigeria.
The other area of reforms would like to say is in the area of our interaction with the FIRS, the Federal Inland Revenue Service. He had always said at different fora that the collection is the nerve of our activities as State Fund. And he showed that seriousness because one of the first visits he made as ES was to the chairman of FIRS.
As we speak, over 79 billion has been released to us by the FIRS for the year, and we've disbursed, inclusive of what we had last year, over 90 billion as we speak. The disbursement rate is phenomenal.
To agenda setting for Committee of Vice Chancellors in Nigerian universities and that of its counterpart, the Committee of Rectors and Committee of Provosts in Nigerian Colleges of Education.
One of the first assignments he issued upon assumption of office was for us to open up contacts with the CBN, the FIRS, the regulatory agencies, NUC, MBT, and NCCE. And then, of course, the institutions themselves, the benefiting institutions. And so we have been on a steady march on those paths. And the feedback is that there is already a huge groundswell of support for his plans and his projections.
In this department, the first issue that came up in trying to work in line with his agenda is how do we change from having those matchbox structures into iconic structures, and then improving the quality of TED Fund projects in all the tertiary institutions. Two things are involved there, which we have started the groundwork. The groundwork is improving the process of vetting the submissions and ensuring that quality designs are approved for institutions. Then supervision and monitoring is also improved.
He has also made it such that, the involvement of relevant personnel, like from the department, M&E, you have the audit unit now getting involved, especially at final trans stages, and also involvement of zonal officers. Another striking and very remarkable thing is the fact that the stepping down of audit requirement at second tranche release stage, such that before we have this bottleneck of delay, administrative processes and all that, that doesn't allow projects to proceed diligently and be delivered on schedule.
As part of the reform, to step up project life cycle implementation, finishing projects on time, the audit clearance will now be issued at the last tranche for the beneficiary to finish their project. I think with this is a laudable achievement for him.
This has seen renewed alliances with Governor Simon Bakola along Plateau State in transforming the tertiary educational sector, vis-a-vis that of African Union in forging partnership with the Pan-African University. And the United Kingdom government came calling in areas of partnership in research and development and cross-fertilization of ideas between both countries.
We're here because we think, looking at the ambitious plans that TET Fund and the government have for higher education, that there are ways we can work together and learn from each other. And all of those meetings were focused really on how we might set up a group to implement a development of increased transnational education activity.
The completion of the National Library was not also left out.
TET Fund is charged to provide funding for the completion because it is already an existing contract. The fund can only provide funding for the completion. There is already an existing contractor, but the major issue is lack of funding. That's why the project is not completed. And the TET Fund had already made provision of 15 billion for the National Library. But there are processes which are required before approvals is given for TET Fund to start releasing those funds.
An engendering agricultural revolution, which he says is another priority area of his administration. It is a roadmap to success in transforming the educational sector and in elevating the status of teaching and learning in public tertiary institutions in Nigeria from brain drain to brain gain.
In addition to that, the ES has directed that we carry out impact assessment of our research activities and also to carry out assessment of research infrastructure, of our institutions. How ready are our universities in terms of sort of research infrastructure and research superstructure? He would like to assess their level, to what extent they can compete favorably.
Before the end of the year, TAC promised to publish 40 books. So out of these 40 books, the 10 that has been promised before the end of June, I just got this today, 3 books already published. And they are coming, they are on their way. For not only that, the others that have their covers, you can see this. You can see this. This one is from my teacher. Imagine, fluid mechanics and hydraulics for engineers by Professor Saliu Mustafa. And then this another one. You can see the next one. So there is a lot of seriousness when the new years came.
This has been carefully orchestrated by architect Sonny Echono in just 100 days in office, leading credence to that popular saying that a square peg in a square hole does makes the difference.
He came in and we have a slim organogram. So what we did that he tasked the Human Resource Department to now come up with staff audit so that we now audit the staff and see what we have and what we need to work optimally for the enhancement of education in Nigeria.
One very striking and remarkable thing he has done, he has emphasized on his responsiveness. He wants a situation where the department is responsive and we're able to address beneficiaries' concerns immediately. And that's why he was able to come up with a 2-week turnaround time that when beneficiaries make requests for inspection, we should be able to finish everything, even including disbursement, within a turnaround time of 2 weeks.
We always say it that a leader should lead by example. And we have seen it in him, the way he will come to work, he will treat his file before you know it. I remember there are some times we have sent file, even in his busy schedule, even from coming back from a journey, before you know it, the file is treated. So I can say that his type of leadership is good.
My unit, the legal unit, has enjoyed tremendous support from the person of architect Sonny Echono. He is a very well experienced and exposed individual. I think there's hardly any issue that we have tabled before him which he hasn't not only solved or exposed us to some dimensions that we never even had even thought.
He has really shown professionalism and leadership in TETFON. He's a real gem.
Following Echono's track record, he was appointed as the Executive Secretary of Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TETFund, in March 2022. A singular honor bestowed on him by visionary leader, the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu Adamu.
Sonny St. Echono is one of a kind. And I must say it here on record that we are lucky, simplicity, to have him as the one in charge at this time.
I would like, on behalf of the R&D department, to heartily congratulate him and to wish him many more successes as he steers the affairs of the fund.
I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate our Executive Secretary for 100 days in office.
Congratulations, sir. We wish you the best, the very fruitful tenure.
TETFund is lucky having him because he has been one of us. He has served on TETFund Board of Trustees for the last 4 years and as a board member. Now he's coming as a Chief Executive of TETFund. So it's an achievement. So TETFund is lucky to have one of its coming back in a bigger capacity.
Being our professional colleague, he's an architect, he's a project manager, he's an ICT guru, and he's a leader by excellence. Not only that, he's a professional in many, fields of experience.
I would like to say a very big congratulations to the Executive Secretary, Architect Sonny Echono. He happens also to be my big brother and very, very senior colleague in the profession.
Well, I really wish to congratulate the Executive Secretary on this first 100 days in office. They have been very, very eventful. A lot has happened within such a short time. That tells you how much experience he has brought on the job.
I wish to congratulate the Executive Secretary, first of all, for coming into TETFund, the assumption of office to TETFund, and for these 100 days in office, it has been a sprint for all of us because he came in with his sleeves rolled up for work from day one.
I actually want to use this opportunity to congratulate the Executive Secretary, Architect Sonny T. Echono, for spending 100 days in office. We have seen the quality in him. We have seen the type of experience that he has, and we've achieved a lot.
Okay, I want to start by congratulating our ES, Architect Sonny Echono, for these 100 days in office. He has really shown professionalism and leadership.
Let me use the opportunity to congratulate the Executive Secretary in his 100 days in office. This 100 days has been a remarkable one.
I hope to have closer interactions with him. I hope to learn more from him because, I look forward to that. I look forward to our management meetings with the Executive Secretary.
On behalf of my staff and of course my colleagues at TETFund, we want to say congratulations to you on your first 100 days, and we wish that God will continue to enrich you in wisdom and good health as you continue to pilot the affairs of this great agency, TETFund. Thank you, sir.
As he continues to serve government, Architect Sonny Echono says it's a race against time in accomplishing its lofty visions for TETFund, but one that he hopes to see come to fruition for the educational sector, the public tertiary institution, and for the betterment of Nigeria at large.